Yo, what up? What up? This is Sharp from Team Envious, and this is my first commentary I've ever done. So, I guess you can call it a commentary, but I'm gonna be doing like what classes I use in MLG. So, let's do this. All right. So the first class I use is FAMAS with a red dot. I think the FAMAS is probably the best assault rifle. I mean, if you know how to shoot it right, it has the fastest fire rate. You can shoot it long range. It's crazy. The secondary I use is a Makarov with extended mag. You can probably aim the best with this. Like, it has the best accuracy. You put an extended mag on it, it has more ammo. It hurts a lot. It's probably the best pistol, I think. The grenade I use is a frag grenade, and that's just because I play domination and it hurts the most. So when you get three people on a flag, instead of throwing a Simtex and killing one or two, you can kill all three of those guys off the flag. Concussion, I think everybody pretty much uses that. It's probably the best thing. You slow someone down with a flag. Smokes are good for S&D if you're rushing or something, but pretty much I just stick with concussion grenades. For my first perk, I use lightweight. I don't really think there's any other perk that you should use because ghost. There's no UAVs or anything, so ghost is kind of useless. You're not allowed to use flak jacket. I guess if you were playing domination, you could use scavenger just so you can keep picking up more grenades. I guess that is where that'd go in hand, but I usually just use all lightweight. My second perk, I use sleight of hand pro. Same thing there. I don't think there really is a second perk that you would use. I mean, you aim in faster and you reload faster, so it's probably the most useful thing there. And then on my FAMAS, I use Ninja Pro. Same thing there. I mean, I use Ninja for every single class except for maybe I have one marathon class. If it's S&D and I need to get somewhere quick, or if we're playing CTF and we're down and like the time's down low, like there's not enough time left, then I'll put on marathon just to try to get a quick cap. But pretty much that's all I use on the FAMAS. All right, next class is my AK-74U. I put a grip on that. This is probably my all-time favorite gun in this game. I use this the most. CTF, domination, S&D. I'm pretty much rocking this gun unless it's a long-range map on domination. I'm using the FAMAS, but other than that, I'm using this gun. Probably the best S&D. I mean, probably the best SMG in the game. Probably the best gun in the game. And you put a grip on it and you get that extra range across the map. Hands down the best. Pistol, I already said I use a Makarov extended mag. I use that on all my classes. And then I got the lightweight, the sleight of hand, and the ninja. And it just works for every game type. Probably the best gun. Alright, my next class is AK-74U with rapid fire attachment. And this gun it shoots as fast as the FAMAS. So if you don't like how slow the regular AK shoots, and you're complaining about how the FAMAS shoots like too fast, you just use this, and it shoots just as fast. And I think it's 10 times better. You can get those long range shots if you burst fire up close. No one's messing with you up close. You're just gonna kill everybody. And I know a lot of people that already use this. They use steady aim, but I've been using sleight of hand lately, and I personally think for long range maps, sleight of hand's better because you're not really steady aiming people a lot. But I don't know, it's just kind of like a choice. I mean, I do have a steady aim class, but the sleight of hand's been working for me lately. So if you use steady aim, just try putting on sleight of hand, see how that works. And I use the same pistol. I got a frag, concussion. I got that claymore on there. You be playing them pubs. You want to lay one on C-Dom and run away. Whatever works for you. Just get that free kill. But don't be using that MLG. No claymores allowed. Can't get those free kills on C-Dom, but whatever, just pub it up. You trying to be a pub star? Hit that up. Alright, for my fourth class, I got rapid fire, but this time I got steady aim on it. Like I said in the other one, a lot of people use steady aim, but I really think steady aim's only good on summit or I think firing range, just because those are such close range maps. And, you can just get that spray on. I know. People like to complain about it, but it's the best thing to use on those. Or I guess if you're running flags, you got Steady Aim Pro and you're running. Steady Aim Pro brings your gun up faster. It's kind of like Lightweight Pro from MW2, but just rock that on the small maps and you should be all good there. And then I still got the Macro with the Lightweight, Steady Aim, and Ninja Pro. Still got that Claymore on. Pub it up. You already know what it is. Alright, so for my last class, I only got 5 classes. I used to have 7, but, Treyarch, they banned me. Guess they thought I was too good or something. Nah, but, yeah, I had the gold gun, so they reset my level. They took away all my custom classes. I was a 3rd prestige. Kind of mad about that, but, oh well. But anyway, so for my last class, I got Marathon. That's pretty much the only difference between this class is Marathon. And then, you can use AK, you can use a grip, you can use rapid fire, it don't matter. You can have sleight of hand, steady aim. But I just got that Marathon on in case, you get down a couple flags, you just gotta throw that on and run. Cause you get that Marathon Pro and it's unlimited sprint. So CTF, you got like 40 seconds left, you're down by 1 or you're tied, and you just want to run across the map and get like a quick 15-second cap. That's the best thing to have. Comeback situations. Alright, now I'm going to go over to how my screen and controller set up. I got look conversion disabled, control vibration disabled. I don't like my control rumbling around while I'm trying to shoot and everything. So I gotta have that disabled. Button layout on tactical. I don't like moving my thumb to the B button just to crouch, and I really don't knife that much, so it's kind of useless to me. My sensitivity is on medium. I've always had it on that, from Halo to Call of Duty 4 to Modern Warfare 2 to pretty much any Call of Duty game. I turn my music volume all the way down, so you don't hear on on Havana. You're in the restaurant, you hear the music playing, brightness and your safe area. That just kind of pretty much depends on how you want your screen set up. All that other stuff. This is what I was talking about on Havana. You're not trying to hear the Meeba Mumba song while you're sitting in the restaurant trying to clutch an S&D. I ain't trying to hear that. I don't know about you, unless you're trying to rock out in there. I don't know, man. It's pretty much it from all my classes. Just subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think about my first commentary, tell me what you think I can do to improve, tell me what videos you think I should put out, and I might be doing a question and answer. So if you want to send me a message over YouTube, a private message over YouTube with any questions you have, I will probably do a video answering any of those questions. So yeah, just subscribe, and you never know, you might see a video on how to make this emblem right here. You never know, that might just go up in the near future if you're wondering how to make it. I've been having a lot of people hit me up on how to make it. I might just make a video. Alright, yo, thanks for watching.